How many times you find yourself wondering, how much should I still keep learning? There is so much about psychology, about my mindset, about systems, about process, about my business, about marketing, about sales, and about leadership. There is so much to learn. You see, one of the biggest secrets that one can understand is to know which information is right at what time. The right timing. There are so many good things, so many absolutely amazing things. But if you haven't mastered the essential, the fundamental, then you're jumping forward without understanding what you're doing, and then you find yourself lost in self-doubt and confused rather than wiser and more confident about what you're doing and how to get wherever you want to get. So start now to look at everything you're learning, everything you're doing in your business, in your life, in your mindset, and ask yourself, is this the right time? And of course, the answer comes from two sides. Maybe is a little bit too late, so you better fuss it up. Or maybe you're too fast and you're jumping forward on something that it's not serving you right now. This is a very important aspect, and here is what we're going to learn today. And I'm going to teach you today the 5 essential, the fundamental aspects of your psyche, of your mindset, in your business psyche. So you as a leader, as an entrepreneur, stop losing yourself between this and that and AI and more psychology and more systems and more process. So then we find ourselves that we try to optimize something that we don't know yet if do we need this or not. So stick with me if you want to really make sure that the fundamentals, the foundation is strong, so that you know when to bring more things in your mindset, in your business, without losing yourself. This is very, very important. So if you make sure that the foundations are well laid, then you can start to build on top. So make sure you stick till the end of this video, because maybe one essential stone, here is only 5. Of course, there are hundreds and thousands of interesting and good things, productive things that can change your life. But without these 5, everything is much more complicated and can lead more to confusion rather than confidence and strategic thinking. So welcome to Exploraself MBA Mindset Business Academy, and let's dive into these 5 essential fundamental mindset shifts that I realized that my students, if they don't master these 5, everything comes so hard. So if you don't want to spend more years, more months trying in confusion and beating yourself for not being good enough, and you start to doubt if you are in the right place, and or not even asking yourself, am I doing something wrong? But more often, probably you ask yourself, am I doing anything right? Today, you'll get the answer. So here I am, Alex at Exploraself MBA. I'm going to teach you today these 5 essential mindset shifts that everyone that wants to get successful and to move and to advance through all the challenges needs to know and to master. So you will overcome confusion. You will learn how to get through the pressure, through the lack of clarity and poor strategy. Very important. We'll get back to it. So you can become tough, yet flexible. Probably already know what's that. And if you don't, you'll learn today why is that so important. But most importantly, to become a leader of your business and life. Number 1, your mind is not written in stone. What does it mean? That means that what you think is a consequence of what you believe. It can change from one day to another. If you believe you're ugly and you're not good enough, or you believe that you won't succeed, you will think about that and you'll find more arguments, reasons why that is true. What you think is a consequence. It's not the root of the problem, or when you find yourself that your mind is fighting with you and it works against you. If you think that the problem is the mind, it is not, my friend. So if you realize deeply, your mind is not written in stone. What you think is a consequence of what you believe. What do you believe? You believe what you heard, saw, and experienced. What you've been told, what you saw, but what you saw, you also interpreted through the mind that you had at that time. And what you've experienced shaped your beliefs. What you believe. You heard someone that says, building a business is so hard. You can't imagine. Well, that's kind of true, but it is also amazing because you're building something amazing. And at the same time, you can do what you love, but also you build all this impact into the world and you grow your business, you lead your people, and also you start to reap some fruits out of the work that you're doing that is so hard to do. But sometimes one idea will get so deep into our psyche and will become a belief. So what you heard, what you saw, and what you experienced in the past shaped your beliefs. And what you think is a consequence of those beliefs. So your mind is not written in stone. What you heard, saw, and experienced is objective and relative. What you heard, saw, and experienced was that version of yourself, which now you're different. You are not the same version that you were yesterday. You've learned something new. You become wiser. You became more better at choosing what's right, what's wrong. What do I need this now? Do I need this later? But what you heard, saw, and experienced is according to who you were, not to who you are today. So your mind is not written in stone. I'm repeating it like a poem. Your beliefs are more powerful than your thoughts. If you can really bear this tattoo it in your brain, so that everything that comes into your brain can be analyzed and perceived as objective and relative, you don't get stuck into the thinking, into the negative thinking, or into the thinking that I won't get there. I don't know what I'm doing. Everything's so hard. I won't get there. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do that. And you start to have all this noise that's killing your potential rather than learning that behind your mind is something more than the mind. So look, ask yourself, when you struggle with your thoughts, when you find yourself confused and you fight your thoughts, ask yourself, am I seeing the mind as an end, as a wall, and I can't see through? If you can't see through it, probably this shift is not mastered yet, that your mind is not written in stone. You have to reach that moment, and it's possible, and you can do it very fast, to start to learn to transcend the mind, to see through it, and ask yourself, what do I believe that makes me to think what I'm thinking? And when you find the belief, what do I believe? What am I so sure about? Ask yourself, did I hear this? Did I see this? Or did I experience it? And then remind yourself that everything you experienced, saw, and heard is objective and relative. Number 2, your passion is your fuel, not your mission. Very, very confusing aspect. When we think as entrepreneurs, as leaders, that our passion is our mission, I like this, I want this product into the world, I want it this way and not the other way. And we confuse the passion with the mission. There's a huge problem. Especially if you are at the beginning, you have to realize one thing, that your passion is your fuel. You're passionate about something, and then use it as a fuel so that you can inject that fuel into your mission. The mission, what do you want to accomplish? So your passion can be expressed in many ways. Don't limit yourself into thinking that there is only one way to express my passion. There are thousands of ways you can use your passion. And if you limit yourself to only one way, you'll fight your mind constantly and you'll try to convince your mind of something else, but the belief remains there. So you got to start to expand and ask yourself, how many ways I can express the passion that I have, whatever it is. All right, next, don't confuse passion with skills. Again, passion is not a skill. Passion is something that's burning within you. But if you confuse passion with skills, then you'll start to develop so many skills around your passion, what's driving you, that won't serve you to build the business you want to build and to serve the people you want to serve and to bring that vision into reality that you have for your life and for your business. The way you choose to express your passion is called your mission. So that's already clear. You have the passion for beauty or for for example, you really like order. I'm a guy that really likes, I'm a recovering perfectionist. So I like everything to be in the right place. Okay, I can express that in so many ways. I can express it in psychology. I can express it in mindset business. I can express it in building amazing processes for my business because I like everything to work as a well-oiled machine, tick-tock, tick-tock. So I know everything what happens and I know all the processes are well managed in my business. I never struggle with that. Why? Because I'm a perfectionist. It really stops me from achieving something else, but it really comes in hand when I want to build a process or a system in business, and that's amazing. But if you, as a leader, you stick to your skills, only those skills which are connected to your passion, you are limited and people are going to run away because your passion is not everybody's passion. So you got to build something bigger than you through which you express your passion. Building a business out of your passion doesn't secure a growing strategy for your business. Let's read this again. Building a business out of your passion doesn't secure a growing strategy. You might be passionate about paintings or coffee cups, and you can build something, maybe a little product, so that somehow you can bring it into the market. If you want to share it, you want to make some money out of it, you want to bring some joy in people's lives, that's amazing. But when it comes to growing a strategy for your business, your passion very often will stand in your way. And that's not what you want for yourself. Otherwise, you get lost into this childish, immature approach to business. That's not how it works. So you've got to protect this passion somehow, but at the same time, you have to learn how to inject it into something bigger than you. So you don't get stuck just to what you are in love and what you really like. Number 3, your emotions are not the evil, but that is his easiest entrance. What does it mean? What does it mean? You heard so much about people that are very successful, that build great businesses, and very often we hear this concept that emotions needs to be they need to be suppressed, and something is wrong with them, and they're the biggest entrance. Well, now let's look from a more spiritual aspect. Your emotions are not evil, but that's his easiest entrance. When you're angry, you have to learn how to handle yourself. When you're worrying, when you are feeling somehow in a way or another, you have to know that in that way you're very vulnerable to the enemy that comes into your psyche, into your mind, and starts to make you to believe that something's wrong with you and that you'll never achieve whatever you want to achieve, and start to make you think that you should be desperate. So, of course, when we are emotionally opened, we are very vulnerable. That's true. But they are not the evil. How can we manage our emotions? Or how bad are we at managing our emotions? But before managing, we have to express them. So we have to let them to be within yourself. Let them to be without letting them out. You process them, so then you can manage. You can't manage something that you suppress. If you suppress it, explodes, and then it sparks you up, then you're going to explode your psyche, and then you're in trouble, huge, big trouble. If God wanted us not to have emotions, He would have done that. So stop thinking that because you are very emotional or you struggle with your emotions, that's something wrong. It's just about your ability to learn to understand what are the emotions. And if you have this attitude towards your emotions, that emotions are the evil, you'll always be in fight with them. And you'll have winnings, you have losses, winning, losses, and you'll hate yourself when you lose, and you'll praise yourself when you're winning, and then you praise yourself, and then you become vulnerable again, and then again you are exposed to emotions to take control over you. Emotions are part of who you are. Stop making the evil out of them. But don't hate your emotions. Learn their origins. If you really want to be successful, you have to learn how to manage your emotions. But if you want to learn how to manage your emotions, you have to know where they come from. There is always a reason that these emotions are rising up and they're bubbling up. And then you find yourself, Oh my gosh. Yes, that's true. Because you hated them, because you haven't processed them, you don't know where they come from. When you start to learn where they come from, then you can find the root of the cause, and then the emotions are much more balanced. They're not rising so much. I remember years ago, I really hated when somebody didn't answer my texts. I would really get angry. How is that possible? You know who messaged you? Why don't you answer? So I interpreted it as a lack of respect. Nobody respects me because nobody answers me within 30 minutes. And then I learned that respect is something different. Everybody respects in a different way. And of course, it's a childish thing to expect someone to answer you in 30 minutes because who do you think you are, right? So if we don't learn the origins, where does it come from? We fight the evil, but we let ourselves in the losing side rather than on the winning, because we suppress them and we consider them the evil. Next, use your emotions wisely. Even when you start to learn your emotions, you have to learn where they come from. Do not overuse them, because again, you'll make huge mistakes, especially when you are into the growing phase of your business, not into the building. Into the building, you need some anger, a little bit of passion, you need a little bit of enthusiasm. You really need to inject these things so that you can lift up. You can start to do something with all of this. When it's about growing, you absolutely need to know that emotions are still needed and you have to use them wisely. You are not your emotions. They are yours. The reason you get stuck in your emotions and you start to fight them and you start to think they are the evil, and the reason they stop you from thinking reasonably and to follow your strategy, is because you haven't built this inner authority that you are your soul and the emotions are yours. Your emotions are not you. You didn't master this thing. You're always you're doomed to fight your emotions, and this is going to cost you a lot, probably everything you have, because you are serving your emotions rather than the opposite. All right, next one. Number 4, impossible starts with not possible. What does this even mean? If you want to achieve something in your life that you haven't achieved before, you haven't been there. You never done that. Of course, it seems to you as impossible. That's logic. But in the moment when your mind answers to your desires, you have a desire, you want to build something great, and your mind answers, no, that's not possible. How are we going to get there? You say, dear mind, thank you for reminding me, but not now. Why? Because I know you're very reasonable. Your logic, dear mind, you haven't been there. You're telling me that it's not possible. True. It's not possible. We haven't been there. But if we learn how, then probably we will. So impossible starts with not possible. When your soul expresses a desire and your desires are within you for a reason, do not despise your desires. If you learn to listen to your desires and not to listen to your mind when your mind starts to build these blocking stones around you, you have to learn to understand that when your mind tells you that something is not possible, amazing, good, you're right, but we're going to do it anyway. So we have to learn the strategic thinking. So if you set sail toward a destination for the first time, it's normal to be unknown. I mean, you haven't been there. So we have already discussed this. Not possible is the mind's reaction. You have a desire, your heart wants something, you have something that's driving you. Let's not go too much complicated into the drives. It's so much to learn into all of that. But whatever is not the thinking, but the feeling. So something that you desire, you would like to, you aspire to become or to have or to give or to share, it's within, but that's spiritual. Everything that's not tangible is spiritual. So if you get a little bit scared of the word spirituality, no, I don't know, what's that? Well, everything it's not tangible is spiritual. So not possible is the mind's reaction to something spiritual. And your mind is half of the way tangible, half of the way spiritual. Why is that so? Because your mind can really materialize if you follow your mind and you do whatever your mind tells you to do. It becomes tangible very, very fast. So it's the bridge between tangible and not tangible. So you have the almost 100% spiritual, you have 100% physical, and in the middle you have the mind that helps you to build the bridge between spiritual and physical. So not possible is the mind reaction. Your soul doesn't really bother about the mind. Another additional aspect of the impossible starts with not possible. Your soul doesn't really bother about the mind. Don't believe this idiotic thing that your soul really cares about your mind. Your mind is your job to start take care of your mind. Your soul knows what your soul wants and where you have to go and what you have to do and how to do it. And even if it sounds crazy for your mind, your soul knows that. And your soul doesn't really bother about the mind. But if you start to suppress your soul's desires, your heart's desires, with the noise of your mind, when your mind tells you that's impossible, that's not possible, you won't get there, don't go there, you suppress your soul, then true, you'll start to believe that you are the mind, and then good luck fighting it every single day. That will cost you days, life, happiness, misery, and bye-bye success. Why? Because you believe that you are the mind. You use the mind, and your soul doesn't really bother about the mind. Lack of strategy is the most often block toward unknown. Here's the thing. When we already say this, when we want to cross this bridge, we don't know where we want to get, and how we know where we want to get, but we haven't been there, we haven't experienced it. But also the steps that needs to be taken in order to get there needs to be organized. Otherwise, you try something, but you haven't intentionally chose that strategy. And then you start to blame yourself or your destination because you haven't put down a clear strategy, try it out, doesn't work, change the strategy. So you know what file we have to look within. Otherwise, you're always trying something and you don't get conclusions about what works and what doesn't work. How come? Because you haven't set for yourself the strategy. I'm going to accomplish X by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this amount of time. I'm going to work on this and see if it works. I'm going to ask around how long time does it need for this kind of strategy or for that kind of strategy. I'm not going to expect 1 million followers in 3 months. So you figured it out, how you communicate better, so on and so forth, but you work on a strategy. And the biggest problem is the lack of strategy is the most often block towards the unknown. So stop blaming the unknown. Stop blaming your mission. Stop thinking that something wrong with you. Stop paying attention to too many things and figure out what is a strategy that I'm going to adopt in order to satisfy the mission that I decided to be on. Number 5, being too slow is true and false. How is that? How many times you ask yourself, why am I so slow? Everybody's so fast. Everybody's achieving success so fast overnight. And I'm just doing here 100,000 tasks every single day. I'm wearing so many hats every single day. I'm the marketer, I'm the sales, I'm the video editor, I'm the everything. Who doesn't remember these phases if you didn't start with a capital or without a team or somebody that could have helped you, and you've done everything by yourself. So you will always have this fight between am I too slow or am I too fast? But mostly I'm too slow. And more successful mentors will push you, come on, let's go, move forward, faster. And you're like, how is that possible? Well, that's true. It's true, but in which way? Let's look at it. 90% of the time when you think that you are too slow, you are right. 98% of the time you react in a destructive way if you believe you're right. What does it mean? Most of the times you look at what you have accomplished and you ask yourself, am I too slow? And you think, could have accomplished this faster? Should have focused at that time on this task, on this mission, on this step. Have I followed my strategy? And you think like, hey, I think I'm making it too complicated and I can be faster. You're right. You're absolutely right. You always can be much faster. So you're right when you think. But almost 100% of the time you react in a destructive way if you believe you're right. What does it mean? So should I think but not believe? Yes. You should think about it, how to make it faster, but do not believe that you are slow. You are doing it faster when you think you are slow. You are already doing, you are already succeeding faster if you think that you're slow. So then you start to think strategically, how can I make it faster? That's absolutely right. But don't believe it. Believe that you're doing your best and you can do better. That's what you have to believe. But if you want to think, no problem. But don't react to that belief. That is going to suppress, is going to shut you down, and is going to make you to think of yourself, not less, but to think less of yourself, which is different, right? Next one, 1, 2, 3, 7 rule. What is 1, 2, 3, 7 rule? You see, if you have the 2 and the 3, let's move a little bit forward. 2 and the 3, for example, is too slow. 1 is the cause, but the consequence is not only what you do now, but it's also the cause. The 2 and the 3, whatever it might be, X and Y, in the middle, that's what you do. I'm too slow. But there is a reason and there is a consequence. Always take in consideration the reason, the cause, not only what you do. If you focus on what you do and look at the consequences, then you will limit yourself from understanding what are the roots of my thinking, what are the roots of my beliefs. The outcome is always of something and something else that happened before. The cause and the effect. For example, I don't have enough clients in my business. Not enough clients. Not enough clients. Did I put enough attention on getting more clients? Have I asked someone to do that? Have I learned to do it? If you just look at what you do now and I don't have enough clients and you want to get more clients and you look at the outcome and the outcome is like, I don't have enough clients because I do not have them, eliminating the cause, what made you to do what you've done and not doing what you should have been doing, will start to destroy you rather than helping you to achieve the outcome. And the 1, 2, 3 system is the 1, 2, 3, 7. So we have something before, we have something in the middle, and there's what the outcome. The same principle is applicable to the spiritual and the physical. We have the spiritual, the invisible, and then we have also the physical, the results. So the spiritual and the physical, they're always working hand in hand. Do not limit yourself to only what you see. What you do is the consequence of what started the whole game. What you get is the result of how you do what you do. So let's read it again. What you do is the consequence of what started the whole game. So what you have now is the reflection and the consequence of what you've done before. But what you get is the result of how you do what you do now. Do not limit yourself to the present and the future. Look in the past, find the roots, find your beliefs, look backward. And this is number 5. The beginners really, really struggle with this. And I remember myself beating myself up, working till 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning because I always believed that I'm too slow without thinking, hey, why am I slow? Where my energy does go? Where is my focus? How have I got here? So eliminating the thinking, processing reasonably and logically. Why am I where I am? Why am I where I am? What led to this situation? You don't do this, you are in trouble. So let's look again at all the 5 mindset business essential systems that you need to build in your business psyche. Your mind is not written in stone. Number 2, your passion is your fuel, not your mission. Your emotions are not the evil, but that's his easiest entrance. Beware of those entrances and how do you react to them? How do you express, process them? Number 4, impossible starts with not possible. You don't see a way out? Great, amazing. That's how it begins. Embrace it, love it, don't despise it, don't hate it, because that's the mind answer to your soul's desires, to your heart values, to your inner wisdom master. Number 5, being too slow is true and false. Depends on are you thinking it or are you believing it. Think it, process it, don't believe it. So in this case, you can also manage your emotions, develop a strategy so that you can move forward and make faster steps. So if you want to learn how to hack your mind before it hacks you, you want to discover the most powerful tools to transcend your mind and unlock your potential to start to think strategically without sacrificing your time or energy on methods or unrealistic practices, which are crazy nowadays. So many things that sometimes my hair goes wild, so that you can get wherever you want to get through the nature that you already have, the human experience, through emotions, your mind, through thinking and feeling together. But you need some very simple tools which are obvious to you, but how to implement them, it's not an obvious thing. If you want to learn how to take control of your mind and understand where to put your mind in your strategy, in your business, in your life, this is the program that you want to get a look at, Exploraself and we will see you there. But in the meantime, you want to let's look backward again. Your mind is not written in stone. Your passion is your fuel, not your mission. Your emotions are not the evil, but that's his easiest entrance. Beware. Impossible starts with not possible. Being too slow is true and false. So now we are ready to move into a new era. Because how you started, it's not how you can succeed and grow and move forward. It's time to revolutionize your business cycle so that you can achieve faster whatever your heart desires. Wish you all the best, and we'll see each other in the next masterclass. Exploraselfmba.com. Alex from here. Salute. I'll see you inside Academy. Bye-bye.